Hi everybody, it's Teacher Denise
and Hannah.
And we are going to read you a Curious George story from this big book of Curious George. We're going to read Curious George Plays Mini Golf. There's George playing some mini golf. George and Steve were good friends. They liked to play games. Steve always had the high score. He always won. There's Steve. What are they playing? What game?
They are playing, I forgot what.
Oh, you don't remember what this kind of ball is called?
Basketball.
Ah, it's a basketball. Yeah, I see the basket here. Steve's pretty good. One day, Steve invited George to play mini golf. Have you ever played mini golf?
No.
No, okay. There was a new game. This was a new game for George. He was curious. Maybe he could win this time. Steve hit the ball 1, 2, 3 times. And now it was George's turn. So I can see here they've showed us that Steve hit the ball 1 time and it went like this. And then he hit it the 2nd time and it went like this. Oh, it went here. And then he hit it the 3rd time and it went and into the hole. George took a big swing. His ball hit 2 trees. George swung his golf club many times to get a high score. I like the way that the illustrator showed us, where the ball goes. Doom, 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 doom. George hit the ball again and again and again. It went all over the golf course. Golf was easy. He's trying to get a high score.
Mm-hmm.
George hit the ball as many times as he could. Finally, he hit it right into the hole. And look, here's Steve keeping score. What's that in the background?
It's a castle.
It is a castle. There's a castle on the mini golf course. Well, at the end of the game, Steve read the scores. Steve 35, Betsy 58, and George 250. George had the highest score. He was so happy. He had won. How do you know George is happy?
Because he has a smile on his face and his hands up.
His hands are up. But George, in golf, the lowest score is best, Betsy told him. I won the game, Steve said. Well, George was surprised. How could a small number be better than a big number? Well, so George thought he was going to get the high score because he hit the ball so many times, but then Betsy told him that actually what you need to do is not hit it very many times.
Yeah, because then if you hit it a ton of times, you have to, it counts more times.
Yeah, it
and it
does.
took you a long time to do it. And if it takes you a quicker time, then
That's harder to do, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Because it's the opposite.
Yeah, so the lower score is actually harder to get.
Mm-hmm.
George had an idea. He wanted to win in golf. He had to practice. George asked his friend if he could borrow some things from their house. What do you see that George has?
All those things.
What are those things?
Those are things he's going to use.
Like what? Tell me what they're...
Like a wheel from a bike
Mm-hmm.
with the pedals, and then a drum, and a case, and a box, and a instrument.
Is that instrument called a violin or a guitar?
Guitar.
It's a guitar. A violin would have a bow. George made a golf course on the roof. Oh, his roof is different from our roof. His roof is flat, and they can go up there and do stuff. So George made a golf course on the roof. A paper towel roll was his club. He blew in one end, and air came out the other end. There he is, blowing in one end with air coming out the other end. The ball moved. He was ready to play. George invited Steve over. Look at this mini golf course that he made. Looks like a lot of obstacles.
Mhm.
I wonder if we could make our own mini golf course. If we could set up obstacles in our house using some things we have.
Some obstacle courses.
Do we have a mini golf obstacle course?
We can make it into one.
Make one. That sounds fun.
Like the rings on there could be loops the ball has to go through.
Ooh. George played first. He blew through the tube and got a hole-in-one. A hole-in-one is like hard to do. It's the best you can do in golf. Steve was next, but it took him 8 tries to get the ball into the hole. Okay, so the illustrator does a good job of showing us where the ball goes. So George blows through his paper towel tube, and the ball goes down the ramp and drops into the funnel, and then rolls through the tube, out, and then through the house.
And into the whale.
And into the whale's mouth. But when Steve does it
went.
Yeah, it comes down the ramp and then misses the funnel, so it hops on top of the tube and then bounces over to the chair, down to the ground, and then Steve has to blow it again, and it comes up this way and bounces back that way, and then Steve blows it and it goes over the book and bounces to the other side, and then Steve has to blow it back to this side, and then he blows it again and it bounces off the house, and then it comes over here, and finally Steve blows it into the whale's mouth. Well, Steve counted the points. George had the lowest score. Finally, he was the winner of Monkey Mini Golf. One of the things that I love about this book, I was telling the 3-day class this week, is that at the end of each story, there's an idea for what you can do at home. So I'll take a picture of that and put it into the comments. But this has ideas for how you can make your own mini golf course at home using stuff that you have. Looks like they recommend that you have some glue and some paper towel rolls and paper plates and a coffee can and building blocks. We might try this. If you guys make a mini golf course like George, send me some videos or pictures of what you've done. All right, we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.